Meanwhile, the cabinet has approved 5 petroleum commitment agreements between the Egyptian General Petroleum Corporation, the Egyptian Natural Gas Holding Company, the South Valley Egyptian Holding Petroleum Company, and several companies. The minimum investment for these agreements is estimated at around $225.3 million, with a minimum of 40 wells to be drilled in the field of gas and crude oil exploration and exploitation in the Merneth offshore area in the Mediterranean Sea, as well as in the exploration and exploitation of oil in several other areas. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli confirmed that during the weekly cabinet meeting, he discussed a package to increase salaries in the upcoming fiscal year, which will be presented to the president. In the weekly press conference, the Prime Minister emphasized that ensuring citizens' needs during the month of Ramadan is a top priority, and the government is closely monitoring the availability of goods and price regulations throughout the day. Egypt has signed an agreement with the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development to establish the Egypt account, providing €10 million to boost public-private sector partnerships in future initiatives. Prime Minister Madbouli confirmed that the memorandum seeks to establish a general framework for the technical support provided by the bank to the Egyptian government. This support will focus on institutional development, capacity building for all relevant parties, as well as providing technical assistance for the implementation and preparation of public-private partnership projects. The World Bank Group has prepared for the second phase of its budget support program for Egypt, which is set to be completed this year. This follows the successful disbursement of the first phase, valued at €500 million in mid-2024. The program is part of a broader $6 billion support initiative announced in March 2024, aimed at boosting Egypt's economic stability and private sector engagement, with the total value of ongoing projects in Egypt ranging between $6 and $7 billion. The World Bank remains a key partner in supporting the country's economic transformation. Minister of Planning Rania Al-Mashat has met with Aliou Maiga, Director of the Financial Institution Group for Africa at the International Finance Corporation, to discuss the latest developments regarding IFC's work programs, as well as activities in the financial and capital markets in Egypt. During the meeting, Al-Mashat emphasized the deep and fruitful strategic relations with the Financial Institutions Group for Africa, highlighting that this close partnership has contributed to providing financing and investments for the private sector, amounting to nearly $9 billion. She pointed out that Egypt is one of the largest operations countries for the IFC among 100 countries worldwide. Egypt has signed a €1.4 million development grant agreement with Spain to fund the preliminary feasibility study for the extension of Cairo Metro Line 1. The initiative is part of Egypt's sustainable transport projects under the NWFE National Platform, aimed at enhancing eco-friendly and efficient urban mobility. The agreement was signed by Rania Al-Mashat, Minister of Planning, Economic Development and International Cooperation, and Eduardo Soriano, Spain's Economic and Commercial Counselor in Egypt. In addition to the extension of Cairo Metro Line 1, ongoing initiatives include the electrification of Alexandria's Abu Qir Railway, which will be transformed into a modern metro system to enhance urban connectivity. Minister of Agriculture Ala Farouk confirmed that Egypt's fresh agricultural exports reached an unprecedented figure, surpassing 8.6 million tons, with total fresh and processed exports exceeding $10.6 billion, marking an increase of nearly 17% compared to the previous year. During the opening of the Berlin International Fruit and Vegetable Trade Fair, Fruit Logistica 2025, Fruit praised the outstanding quality of Egyptian products, which are now penetrating most global markets and seeing increased demand from all countries. He also commended the active participation of Egyptian exporters and their continuous efforts to be present at one of the most important international agricultural product exhibitions, where they have a significant opportunity to promote their products. Egypt's net foreign exchange reserves has increased by about $154 million during January compared to December. Net international reserves rose to $47.65 billion at the end of January 2025, up from $47.109 billion in December. Over the past 11 months, following exchange rate liberalization, foreign exchange reserves increased by approximately $11.8 billion, driven by the Ras Al Hikma deal with the United Arab Emirates, worth $35 billion. Egypt is set to receive the Turkish Floating Storage and Regasification Unit, known as FSRU, BOTAS, in June, which will supply the local market with up to 500 million cubic feet of natural gas a day. This initiative aims to enhance electricity generation capacity during the peak summer months. The agreement between Egypt and Turkey stipulates that the Turkish vessel will receive shipments of liquefied natural gas, convert it into natural gas, and supply it to Egypt from June to November.